Y'all need to listen up. This is real life. Y'all doing dumb shit just for views and likes. Any topic, you know that we on it. No matter the subject, you know that we on it. Isaac Cotto when the kid plot. Yo, we can't stop, man. Y'all know we the baddest. We give it 100, no capping. Welcome to Stop the Madness.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Stop the Madness. I'm your host, The Kid Plot. My co-host, Isaac Cotto.
What's up? We're back.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the video. Hit the notification bell so you guys are notified when we make a new video. What are we talking about today?
Well, we got a few things. We got some reaction videos to the black community reacting to Trump's indictment.
Yes.
We're going to check out some TikTok videos on that.
Yes.
We got also the Steve Harvey rumor.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Right? And then we got an interesting video from The Fighter and the Kid about gun violence. It was a really interesting, some statistics that were thrown out that we'll talk about.
I can't wait.
But we've had an interesting last few days here to give a little update in the studio. We have a different setup. Recently in Georgia, we had some major storms and stuff like that.
Yep.
And lo and behold, our studio got absolutely flooded and
it's terrible.
Destroyed.
Like we're not gonna show you guys what it looks like. We're gonna keep it just like this. We adjusted just for you guys.
What you guys are seeing is called movie magic.
Right.
All right. So, but credit to my crew. Shout out to Rafael and Brian, super producers and editors.
Yes.
Everybody stepped up to the table.
We got no floor. We barely got walls right now.
Yes, but we here to put out this product.
Yes.
And put out some good, interesting content. But
so kick us off.
Bro, I just came back from New York City this past weekend, and that's how I walked into the studio.
You were hurt, I know.
Yeah, so, but anyway, I went to New York City, and I don't know when's the last time you've been, but I've been
like 3-4 years.
Yeah, same. But I took my mother-in-law to the 9/11 museum.
Oh yeah.
And
That's
World
cool,
Trade
man.
One,
That
and
was
every time I don't know, you can go there 5 times. When you see that memorial and the museum,
yes,
they were completely speechless. She was speechless, right? So she loves documentaries. We see a lot of the documentaries, but when she actually walked in, and they set it up where it's a somber environment. Like it's great, it's amazing. Like information.
They got all the names of every single person that lost their life. It's crazy.
When you walk into the museum, the presentation is unbelievable, but it's very somber. And you're talking about that outside. She took some pictures and she was kind of smiling, and it was kind of like you don't know if you should smile because you're at basically where 3,000 people died, and you don't know should you smile. But as soon as we walked into the museum and we started late, there was no smiles. Like it was very impactful. It was a great experience. So if anybody, a lot of people don't travel very much, but if you get a chance to go to New York City, you have to see that memorial. It's pretty impactful.
Yes.
Have you been there?
I have. It's amazing. I loved it. I mean, it's like you said, it's very somber. I saw all the names of all the people that lost their lives. It makes you kind of reflect and say, wow, like what a crazy time.
Life-changing experience.
Life-changing experience. Real quick, I don't want to take too much time on this subject, but a real good friend of my family, she actually worked at the World Trade Center when it happened in September 11th, 2001. She was off that day.
I have a tough story.
She was literally off that day.
Yes.
If she would have been on that day, she probably wouldn't have made it.
Right.
And when you sit back and you look in hindsight, you're like, man, I guess it wasn't my time. That's all you can think.
I had a cousin who delivered downtown Manhattan. He did FedEx. Luckily, he saw when everything happened, and he was saved. I had a very, very good friend of mine who was a rookie cop that worked Lower Manhattan, that area, and we couldn't get in contact with him for 2 or 3 days. Finally he was off that day.
Yep.
And he got called in to do part of the cleanup, and lo and behold, 6-7 years later, has cancer. He's like a 30-year-old man, has cancer, and he got a big settlement out of the 9/11 fund that they have. But it's the real deal. You know what I mean? Like you went there, if you were part of the cleanup, high probability of getting something. But anyway, so we making things happen. We're gonna get into some of these TikTok videos, and we all have our political opinions, but this is just interesting times that we're seeing. And so the black community has reactions, and there's a concern about, hey, if the Democrats lose the black vote, that's a big swing.
Now, obviously, they don't. These, the people that we're about to show, they don't represent the whole entire black community. Sure. But in the past, they were
4 years ago, nobody was putting out any kind of content like this.
If they were voting for Trump, it was in private. Nobody knew about it. They were keeping it quiet. Now, they're not so quiet anymore, and it all really came to forefront after this mugshot.
Well, let me ask you this: what do you think of the Trump indictments?
No, I mean, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. 96 indictments. I think they're just hoping something sticks. That's my opinion.
So you do?
I'm not picking sides on political parties, but I'm just talking about you hit somebody with that many indictments. I think that you just hoping something sticks because you don't want him to be eligible to run.
Yeah, the whole timing. I don't think there's no coincidence.
It's not a coincidence.
It's like, oh, guess what? We're getting the run up for the election, and lo and behold, all of a sudden now.
Yep.
And I think,
and then his trial's in March.
Yes, they fast forward, and I'm sure. I think the theory is like he's a convicted felon. If you're a convicted felon, there's no way you should be able to run for president. You can't even vote if you're a convicted felon.
To my knowledge, supposedly, you can still run for president even while in jail. That's what I read up on that.
You know what? And let me tell you,
if you're getting votes, you get votes.
One thing the Trump supporters have shown, they don't give a shit about if he's convicted of this bullshit. Whatever, like it doesn't matter. Like,
because they think that the government is even more corrupt.
Exactly, and it's politically motivated. And I think Vivek Ramaswamy, the candidate, has made it a point to say, man, you cannot use your political power to pursue political opponents in an election cycle.
Agreed.
It doesn't make sense. If they would have done this 2 years ago,
it would have been more legit.
No problem.
Why would you wait literally right before an election?
A year before the run up. So anyway, so let's check out these videos and see what they're talking about.
Go ahead. Just keep indicting them. Because we gonna vote. You gonna see something. Democrats, you used to African Americans just giving all in. Well, let me tell you something. Not this time. Not this time. Because if you'll do that to a former president, we know what you want to do to us. Do your job. You indict, we gon' vote. You indict, we gon' vote.
Yeah, they coming out.
You indict, we gonna
I feel like
vote.
It's backfiring.
For Trump.
Whatever they thought that was gonna happen in the polls,
I'm ready to stop for him right now.
History shows that the Democrats,
when it is no longer about justice and just vengeance, you have no idea how this is going to turn out. You have no idea how many people who wasn't going to vote for Trump are ready to vote for him now. You have no idea when America sees injustice.
Imagine Hulk Hogan.
And we can't trust the leaders because they have
but that ain't good for the Democrats.
But it's like a promo.
They need the black vote.
You indict.
I'm telling you.
We're going to vote. You indict, and we gonna.
It's like a promo, WWE promo. Shit,
so silly.
Valerie Marine Johnson. Sign
there you go. Hey, sign up. That was a dope ass promo.
He's so silly.
Die.
You go ahead and stop it.
F-O. Fuck around.
Oh, hey, that's pretty dope. I give it to her. But we were talking 4 years ago.
Nobody came out like that.
You would not see this on TikTok.
Very small amount.
Very small.
And
if you was a black person that publicly came out as a Trump supporter,
your Uncle Tom,
you were toast.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's a sign of the times. And man, it's the Democrats pursuing these charges, regardless if it's Trump, any political opponent.
Right. And then these Republican, and then not just Republicans, but the African Americans that are Democrats, that are normally Democrats, they're seeing so much video and so much of a response towards man, every time we vote Democrat, I feel like we getting taken advantage of. Like that's how a lot of them are feeling. And we all know that if the Democrats don't get the African American vote, they have a very, very slim chance of winning an election.
Because they don't have the Hispanic vote.
No,
they don't.
They don't have this,
shocked.
especially not in Florida.
Yeah, I was completely shocked.
And they don't have most of the white people vote Republican.
Mm-hmm.
So they need that African American vote big time in order to win elections. And right now, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know. I looked at some of the polls. I wasn't able to find what the African American poll increase was, but when it does finally come out, like, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes up even more from the African American side, because a lot of these videos coming, they got songs, like we got some hip hop songs, hip dances. I'm not gonna play all of that today, but even dances that
you would never see.
Black folks are doing right now to Trump after the mugshot came out.
Let me answer this. Do you think there's any social commentary in the sense of like, all you hear is like a lot of the black community are criminals, and like Bill Clinton is super popular in the black community, and you'll hear the jokes because Bill Clinton was a player, you know what I mean? Like he was doing his thing with Monica, you know what I mean? And the black community supported him, and it was like the social commentary, like he's one of us. Shit, he was fucking around the White House.
Well, I mean, look what.
So now you have Trump. Shit, he's on the docket. He got a rap sheet too. He one of us now. Like you think any of that has an impact?
Well, besides the fact that life was better when Trump was in office, because it really was. Food was cheaper, gas was cheaper. I was paying less taxes. I'm just telling you from experience what I saw when I was just from me living. Now, mind you, COVID hit. That could have played a role in a lot of this stuff going to crap. But nonetheless, this is what happened. And they try to blame all the stuff going to crap on Trump when it did go to shit. When everything went to shit because of COVID, they were still blaming it on Trump. But when things go good, they didn't want to give Trump credit. And that's why I feel it was like not even distribution of blame or what is the word I'm looking for? Blame or giving them credit. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Giving Trump credit in his administration. So, but yeah, like I just think that the fact that they came out now instead of 2.5 years ago with these charges, because they could have came out with these charges if he really broke the law, or they really have a problem with whatever law he broke, which was interference with, trying to overturn the election. If that's really the situation, 2.5 years ago, you would have pursued this. What a coincidence that now that the primaries for the GOP is happening, this is when you want to pursue this. No one is dumb.
Is their biggest problem.
No one is dumb. Like you think you think this country doesn't realize that you're trying to eliminate him from being eligible to run for president? Because he has the best chance to beat your candidate. Everyone knows it. He has the best chance.
I think it's, like you said, super transparent.
Yeah.
It's obvious. And one thing these last 4 years have shown, Trump supporters they dig in.
Yeah.
Like the more you try to shit on Trump, the more his supporters are like, that's my man. That's my guy.
But he's getting new supporters.
Yes, which is that's what I'm saying. Like they dig in, and now he's getting even new supporters. Like, bro,
because what happens is people are starting to they're opening their mind. They're being more open-minded in this point from this perspective. Remember, we saw the Breakfast Club and Larry Elder. What did Larry Elder say when Joe Biden
said, "If you don't vote for me,
you're not black"? That is like, bruh. What are you trying to say? That I'm not
race baiting?
Yeah, that's what they do left and right. There's no other. That party race baits a lot. Liberal media race baits a lot. I don't see Fox News race baiting like this. And we all know they're more on the conservative side. We don't see them race baiting as much as liberals do. CNN, and MSNBC, bro, they race bait. I can't even watch them anymore. I'm just being honest. I don't listen. I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican. But when I sit back and just watch, I'm like, it's just hard for me to really watch this and take it seriously when I see everything is race. If a black person kills a black person, y'all ain't saying nothing. If a cop kills a black person, it's fucking viral, bro.
Right.
We going in. If a white person gets, it's because of race. It's racial. It's a racial reason. It's white supremacy is the reason. Like everything is race. But if a black dude, they don't even talk about it. They don't care. It's like, oh, it's cool.
It doesn't play.
It's all good.
Right.
It's still a black death. That's what should matter. But they don't hit it with the same type of intensity. Why? Because they have to race bait to keep their base. Kind of like we care about y'all. See how we're talking about it? We're the only ones that care. I mean, they don't care. We do. That's what I see.
You know,
that's what I see.
You can have 100 people line up and say, I've had encounters with police and I was treated differently because of the color of my skin.
Bro, I had a lot of encounters with police, but I wasn't treated differently. I'm being honest.
One specifically.
Okay.
And you know where that it happened to me. Mm-hmm. And I swear to God, like it was like clear as day. Mm. But you know, again, the whole issue about how they race bait, and I think it was about 15 years ago. I was very non-political, very ignorant, and I remember I watched Fox News. I used to watch the Fox morning show every morning, and then I watched CNN for a little while, and I started noticing like Fox News thinks Obama is like the worst fucking human ever.
Right.
And then I started watching CNN and it was like, they think this guy's the second coming of Jesus Christ. And that's where it just dawned on me. I mean, we're talking 15 years ago. I was like, oh, okay. Like, you know, and that's the way it is.
And it's bias. It's bias on both sides.
For sure.
Fox News has bias. CNN is biased.
I personally think, you know, Trump may right now show he would win or is the closest. I don't think he's the best candidate, right?
Who do you think is the best candidate?
For me, I'm a Vivek guy. I think he presents.
I don't think he has enough experience.
Well, if it's based on experience, look at Joe Biden. Joe Biden has like 60 years experience.
But he's 100,000 years old. That's the
whole shit. Like, if you're basing on experience, that really Trump didn't have experience and he got elected.
Right. But the fact that now he does have experience, he's been in office.
Yeah.
He's he's not gonna
you can make arguments. Like I said, for me personally, like
the polls show
right now. Well, you know, right now is very early.
Yeah,
we're talking.
But the polls show, and I looked at like 15 different polls. Ramaswamy's best poll, his best poll was, and this wasn't even including Trump. Trump wasn't in this poll because they're going. I think they were just going based on the people that were at the actual debate. He was at 22%, and DeSantis was at 25%. Every poll that Trump is actually in,
he's like 51 or 50.
Trump is 50 to 70.
I think.
I mean, it's not even
be
close.
A year before you can see. But I'm just saying. I still think yes. Right now, Trump probably would be the candidate.
Absolutely, he's gonna be the candidate.
For me, the best candidate out of the Republican Party,
I got you. Yeah,
would be Vivek. He's like the upgraded model.
I like Vivek. I like him too, but I don't like him more than that. I think Trump would be a better option because he's been in the White House already. I saw how my life was when he was in office, and you know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna take experience over a newbie.
People say, you know, if you're president and the economy's on fire, you're gonna stay president. If you're the president and the economy is in the toilet, you're not gonna stay president. So you know, I felt that. Like I feel that theory, regardless of political party, that, the other.
I don't care about the party. All I could do is talk about the people that are probably going to be the candidates. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about guys that are at 8% on some polls, 2% on other polls. Like that's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. Like he's not gonna go up from 8% to 60%. It's not gonna happen. You can forget about it. So that's just fool.
So you don't think
it's a waste of time to even think that he's gonna beat Trump because he's not. You know that. He's not even close. Like if he was at least halfway there,
just showed up like what 6 months, 7 months ago,
and he's still not even ahead of DeSantis.
But what happens when he gets ahead of I think he's gonna get ahead of DeSantis.
But he's still not even halfway there. Like if he was halfway there, then I can say, okay, let's entertain the conversation. But
let me ask you this.
I mean, the guy is 40 points behind, bro.
If say he becomes number 2.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, it's far number 2.
But let's play a what if scenario, right? He becomes a number 2. And he presents better, he speaks better, he could say. I always say to staff and employees, and I have managers and stuff in the company. I always say, look, you can tell anybody anything. It all depends how you say it, right? So I've been upset, whatever, but I never came across like an asshole. But I can tell you, you've done a horrible job without being an asshole, right? And Vivek presents, he can say the same exact thing. I want to close the border.
I'm about to kill you right now with my response.
Right?
I'm gonna kill you with my response.
So Trump makes think and feel the same way, but the way he presents it is very, how you say, course. I would say where Vivek may present it very logically.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
No problem.
It is more. I can take that.
I'm about to kill you right now.
Right. Do you think there's any issue with his race when it comes to the Trump base? That Vivek, if they say, man, Vivek's actually a better candidate, but he's not white.
I don't think that matters. Obama won. That's
no.
over.
But we're talking about Trump supporters. We're talking about Trump supporters.
I don't think Trump supporters are. I honestly don't believe Trump.
Think they don't have, there's no issue of race when it comes to this Trump base.
I don't think Trump supporters.
All the Iowas, Nebraskas, Kentucky, all like there's certain parts of Kentucky. My man, I'm not going through.
Yeah.
But they all have Trump flags in the front.
Yeah.
And God forbid I put anything outside of a Trump flag in front, I'm gonna have a problem.
Yeah, but it's the same thing if you go into the middle of the hood of people that hate Trump and you put a Trump flag. What you think is gonna happen? It's no different. It's no different. They're gonna look at you and they're gonna curse you out. They might come out the car and take your flag. It's the same thing.
Okay.
You go to an inner city that hates Trump and you over there, Trump. What do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna say, keep doing your thing, man. You have your right to your opinion. Really? They're not gonna do that. It's the same response either side. But here's how it's gonna kill you. Based on what you were saying about Vivek being a better candidate in your opinion. Here's where Vivek blew it. And here's where DeSantis blew it.
Okay.
They both publicly came out. DeSantis before, Vivek in podcasts as well as on the debate stage. He said, Donald Trump is the best president we've had in the 21st century.
Yes.
He's done. He's done. You think Trump is not going to use that? You literally just said, I'm the best president, but you think you should beat me? He's going to kill him with just his own words. It's a wrap. You can't sit here and say that I'm the best president. You complimented me being the best.
I think he got asked that same question,
Listen to me.
Right?
You just said, let's say you're Vivek. I'm the best president in the 21st century. Right? And now you think that you should beat me in this presidential election or in this GOP run. That's it, like, who in their right mind is going to think that they're going to be able to beat the guy that they said was the best in the 21st? What are you going to say? Well, I'm younger. Yeah, but Trump is still sharp right here. Trump is not like Biden. Like, Trump is literally on point with his brain. He is not senile. He don't have dementia. He is on point. So you and you know what's funny? I guarantee you Trump is about to make a promo very soon because he's making promos and posting on Instagram every day. He did a promo just recently because I went on his page and I saw it. The whole promo was DeSantis giving Trump credit. The whole thing in different moments. That's DeSantis' downfall. He's going to use that against DeSantis. So now you want to talk smack when you was praising me for a year.
Right.
And this dude, Vivek, did the same thing to a lesser degree, but he did the same thing. He is going to, I guarantee there's going to be a promo. So when he comes up to this third debate, he's going to say, you and you who are second and third, y'all love me. Y'all was kissing my ass. Now all of a sudden, that's where they're done. They're done.
If
they're done.
If you're going to, I'm gonna put my political strategist.
Okay.
Ask me how long I've been a political strategist.
2 minutes.
Exactly. Right? So I'm putting my political strategist hat on, right? If you wanna pick, off the side, some of the bone, some of the meat of his base, you can't talk. It's like the Democrats trying to indict him. What does that do? That makes his supporters stick even harder to him, right?
It's smart for him to do that.
Right, you can't say I hate him, he sucks.
No, it's
because
smart.
his supporters gonna be like,
it's smart, but they're not gonna switch Once Trump shows up to that stage in the third debate,
You know he cannot talk. Like Trump has, like he's gonna throw insults or whatever, but he's not smart enough to debate.
well, I think he's
But
actually very smart. I just think that he's also very, very transparent and very open.
He's
good. You know what he doesn't have?
He's like, you're an idiot. You're just a short
in
person
Spanish,
that thinks that.
In Spanish, hold on, time out. In Spanish, they say, "Él no tiene pelo en la lengua." That means he doesn't have a filter.
Right.
I like people that ain't got no filter.
I agree.
Tell me how you feel, bruh.
That doesn't mean that you make sense when you're talking. Like it just you can be that way, but just insulting someone doesn't, that doesn't make you a better candidate. You understand what I'm saying? So for me,
Bro, but they insult Trump all the time.
All he can, you're dumb. You just this. You just.
They insult Trump all the time.
But he doesn't talk issues and policy and
well, actually, he does talk policies. The problem is the only thing that you see and you can't get past is his asshole-ish personality. You can't get past the fact that he is arrogant. So I don't need, like Larry Elder said, I don't need a fishing buddy. I don't need a homeboy. I'm not hanging out. Are we going golfing? I don't give a damn about any personal relationship with this guy because I wouldn't probably hang out with him either if he acts that way around me. I care about how is my life when you were in office. That's all I care about.
He lost the election.
That's fine. I'm not saying he.
I'm not saying
at the end of the day,
I believe that
lost. I believe that
he lost the election.
I believe that there's reasons to why he lost. Because mail-in ballots is a good, easy opportunity.
But the numbers are so big. There's not.
It wasn't that big. No. Georgia is why he lost. It wasn't that big.
10 million votes,
bro. Georgia is why he lost. Georgia.
Okay.
It wasn't that big. Trump was ahead in Georgia, and all of a sudden, within the last few hours, they're still counting mail-in ballots. We're still counting. We got to make sure everybody gets counted. And then all of a sudden, people coming in dead. People not registered to vote. All these, they found people that were dead with a Biden vote. I don't think
the numbers. It's been proven that the numbers are not enough to change the election.
And that's fine.
Even say there's 5,000 fraudulent, 10,000 is not enough to change the results.
I think Trump lost by like under 20,000 votes
for Georgia. Okay.
And normally, when it's like 10 or 15,000,
but what about the other states?
That
doesn't count.
No, because Georgia was I think Georgia. If I'm not mistaken, I think Georgia was the
fraud. Like fraud only happened in Georgia.
No. I'm not saying that. Listen, I'm not saying that fraud was a wide range of fraud. I'm not saying that. Okay, he lost. That's fine. I'm not saying that he didn't lose. What I'm saying is that it's actually debatable based on what they're saying. They're saying it's debatable. I don't know because I wasn't there. At the end of the day, I'm accepting the results. We all have to.
For sure.
And him complaining about taking the L and him saying that this happened and that happened, Democrats do that all the time and nobody got indicted. They complained about Trump when he won. They couldn't believe Trump won. They said the same thing. They said there was Russia collusion. That was BS because they cannot accept that he beat Hillary Clinton. That's just what it was. And nobody got indicted for that.
Look, as an attorney, you can file as many lawsuits as possible, which they did. They filed, if it's 50, they lost all 50, but hey, go for it. File away. And if you get a different result, great. They went the legal route and they lost at every opportunity, which is cool. Yeah. Right? If they would have won and the election changes, great. They won the legal route. The only issue I've ever saw or heard is that phone call where he's like, outside of that, I don't know. The devil's always in the details, and I don't know enough. But my original question was, does Vivek, if he becomes second, he placates to the Trump base, saying he was a great president. Yeah, he did. But obviously, he's going to say he made decisions I would not have made, and I would make different decisions. That's why I'm a better. But I think he has to do that because if it's 5%, 10%. He wants to pull from the Trump. If he has any shot, he has to pull from the Trump base. He can't go attacking Trump because those supporters will not move.
They're not going to move even if he gives them credit, because if you're giving them credit, that makes them feel even more like, yeah, you're right. That's why we support Trump. Yeah. Well, so either way,
we got a year now. I want to say the first debate. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go live on the next.
We're going live.
The one that Trump's in. Like
that's
Trump
the third one. He's going to, because I saw an interview with him and Tucker. He said that he'll do the last one.
Okay. The third one, we're gonna go live on that debate, and we're gonna react and we're gonna watch it live because that's gonna be interesting. All right.
Let's go to the next.
The next video.
No, the next video of black folks that are
pro-Trump.
Yeah, pro-Trump.
All right.
Hey, yo, I better see everybody doing the Trump dance
so
on TikTok, man.
They're doing a Trump dance.
Yeah.
No.
Me and Michael
Yo,
Jackson
I'm
killing
telling
it
you.
now, man. I told y'all
Are
this
you
was
serious?
easy, man. Let me see you get sturdy. Whoa. Let me see you do the Trump dance. We working. Midterms, we taking it over. Trump dance, better break your shoulders. We making it rock. We taking it straight to the top. Ain't no way we gonna flop. Let me see you do the Trump dance.
I actually like this one. It's pretty hard.
Let me see you do the Trump dance. Yeah. Let me see you do the Trump
When you coming up with your Trump song? Your Trump song?
Let me see you do the Trump dance. Ay, let me see you do the Trump. I'm breaking my shoulder, I'm making it drop. We killing the rallies.
Yo, this shit hard though.
Blue, then boy, you a op. We making
hard.
it wave, they like it a lot. Victory cry, we killing them guys. They better get ready, we taking a spot. Pelosi is over, you know I'm the
said
coldest. I'm
Pelosi
back,
is
nigga,
over.
though they know where I can stop.
That was good.
Yo, the mugshot. We got one more, man. We got one more. I think play
That, like you
play
said,
this next
4
one.
or 5 years ago,
Yeah.
that never happened.
Ninjas for Trump, they into the chair. It's about to be a situation. Come here, petty ass. Move the hell out my way, Adi. Listen,
get out of the way.
give me a Democratic Party. Scoot your ass to the front. Yeah, See, this problem is happening because of y'all. Yeah. We sick of this shit. The ninjas done jumped up off the damn slave ship. Ha! Now sit your ass right here and let me get up in your face and say what I need to say. This is what happens when you lie to people for 50 fucking years. Yeah. I'm born from the Moses tribe. I honestly do believe that because I said, Democratic Party, let my people go. For way too long, you motherfuckers, oh yeah, that's right, I'm born from the Bernie Mac tribe too. You motherfuckers been lying to us over and over and over and over again. We sick of it. This has been a dream of mine. Martin Luther King Jr. said that he had a dream that all the crooked roads would be laid straight. Yeah, we see through y'all bullshit. This race rhetoric bullshit that y'all been doing for years and years and years. Keeping us divided. No, we together now. God's people. This is what happens when God used y'all evil, badass self for good. Ha! That's God's plan, baby. And y'all can't do nothing to stop it. Because we said what we said. Ha! Ninjas from Trump.
Dude in the background.
Tito Pop 2024, ho! Ninjas for Trump. Yes, I love it.
She was intense.
Yo, she sound like she
I
sound
guess
like
she's
she
on
been
Trump.
She sound like she been a Democrat her whole life, and she's like, you know what? I'm done with these freaking guys. That's her.
Man, I'm
I'm
telling
just
you.
saying. This is what the mugshot did. I'm just showing you reactions. I'm just showing you people.
Like I said,
response.
5 years ago, no one would put this kind of content.
Which is why
very few.
Which is why I'm saying the Democrats. They thought this was gonna hurt them. This is backfiring
Big time.
big time.
All right, let's go into this next one. It's about an interesting stat that came out on the Fighter and the Kid podcast,
Right.
which says a lot, which also touches on, Democrat, Republican side when it comes to the gun debate. But let's check out the video and listen to these stats.
Okay.
Wild stat though. Yeah. We are at 193 countries, I believe we are number 3 in gun violence. Okay. But if you were to take the 5 cities where there is the most gun violence, Chicago, Philly, I think Houston, Chicago, Philly, Detroit.
St.
I
Louis.
don't know if it's LA, but I think it is LA.
Just sheer numbers.
Yep. Right. So it's all these cities. If you were to take out the cities and they all have the strictest gun controls. So it's St. Louis, Detroit, it's Chicago, it's Philadelphia, and I think it's Los Angeles. And they have the very, very tight gun laws. Keep in mind, they are blue, I'm just saying, but if you were to take them out of the equation, we would not be the third, we would be the 189th.
Wow.
That's pretty significant.
Out of 193, we would turn into
Pretty much
189
almost last.
with those 5
With
cities.
with 5 cities removed.
All right, so someone who grew up in a metropolitan inner city.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that it just seems to me like
They have the biggest hoods.
No, I don't even think it's that. Listen, I know it sounds like I don't like Democrats, and it's not even that. It's all those cities are Democratic cities, and because the gun laws are very strict. Like my brother lives in New Jersey, right? Now I know that's not one of the states he mentioned, but it's a Democratic state, and in New Jersey, it is very hard to get a permit to carry a gun. Much harder than it is here. It's very expensive. So what do? You can get it, but you got to not only buy your gun, but to have the license to carry, it's very expensive. It's a lot more expensive than it is here, like maybe 3 times the amount. I think it's double or triple the amount, because my brother was telling me that he was like, yeah, man, it's not that you can't get it. It's that the amount of money that you have to spend to get your carry license, not everybody's going to do it. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to have a lot of illegal guns out there, right? But in states like this that we're in now, like in Georgia, where it's not as expensive to carry your gun, you're gonna see less gun violence because more people have guns. So if you think about it like this, like if you know that everybody has a weapon, right? Everybody or most people have a gun because it's a lot easier to obtain legally. You're gonna see less gun violence because nobody at the end of the day wants to die. Most people want to live.
Sure.
If you're in a state where the gun laws are very strict, and you know, according to statistics, that not too many people have a gun because it's harder to get your gun permit, right? Then it's a lot easier for the people that are criminals, that like to commit crimes, that get guns illegally, right? Is more likely that they're going to have gun violence happen, whether it's through robbery, house invasions, whatever the case may be, because they're assuming these people probably ain't got no gun anyway, right? So, and that's why, and we see it in Detroit, like he said, in LA, where the laws, they're stricter on guns and they're actually weaker on criminals. Hey, you robbed, we see Louis Vuitton stores getting robbed left and right in LA, and jokers getting out the next day or the same day. Right. That ain't happening over here.
For sure.
So because of that being so much more lenient for people like that, and then it's a lot harder to obtain a gun, you're going to see more violence because they're thinking, if I got a gun, I ain't worried about these cats. Chances are they ain't gonna have no weapon. And that's when you see more gun violence happen. You know what I'm saying? But if everyone has a gun, in my opinion, you're gonna see less gun violence because nobody wants to get in a shootout and both people die.
Well, it's kind of like the Cold War, right? There's a saying, mutually assured destruction, right? So you're Russia, I'm the U.S. I have 50 nuclear bombs. Well, guess what? You have 50 nuclear bombs.
Exactly.
I'm not going to send a nuclear bomb your way because, shit, I know one's coming my way. So guess what? Nobody uses the nuclear bomb.
That's the point. Right.
But, so say you have L.A., St. Louis, Detroit, Chicago. I think of all the gang violence in Chicago. And I think about Detroit. You have some pretty hard-hit areas. Majority they're going to be all minority areas, crime, black on black crime, black on brown crime. I think about New York City. There's certain parts of the Bronx, Harlem, it's those areas, and it's pretty interesting. I think you have a very valid point. Here in Georgia, man, you see a house and you decide to go into the house. You risking your life because 9 out of 10 times that house owner
has a gun.
Road rage, for me, you have to be very careful with road rage because everybody got a gun.
Big difference.
Grandma, everybody got a gun. You gotta really think about it. If you're gonna get out the car and approach somebody, and if that person fears for their life and they got a gun, guess what? You catching some bullets, right? And so. It's but the narrative you hear is the minority community has been affected, and that's why we have all this gun violence. But it's very telling that these 5, if he's correct, these 5 cities have very strict gun laws, have the highest gun violence rates in the U.S. And if you take those, you go from out of 193, you go to 189. Damn. But to me, it's still the same thing. If the gun violence is that prevalent, it has to be in your lower income communities that is just, it's just the streets are hot. The block is hot in St. Louis, in LA, in Chicago. Man, it's just that's the way life is. I don't know if it's because other people can't get guns. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you can.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's because other people get guns. I think that's a more of a symptom of a bigger problem, which is what's going on in the minority communities,
right,
and how they've been treated, how they've not been supported.
I agree.
And so it doesn't change the fact you eliminate those cities, and guess what?
We're almost last.
But I think
safest country, one of the safest in the world.
Yeah, I mean, man, you can't. North Carolina, it's a state that's close by. You can't compare North Carolina to Chicago.
Right.
Like, I mean, the gun violence. I mean, the city is just different. Like, I was in Manhattan, right? Guess what? Beautiful restaurants, a seaside, malls, got people jogging, babies in strollers.
Yeah.
Man, you go to certain neighborhoods in Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Jersey, you don't see that.
Right.
Like, that's not reality in those neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Which I think is a bigger symptom of a bigger problem.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily gun control, which is a big topic between the two parties, like pro Second Amendment. I don't think that's the issue.
Right.
I think it's more a symptom of a bigger problem, which what has been done to help these communities. I mean, if it's a poor community, you're gonna have the drug dealing, the hustlers, and just the violence and the crime. And lo and behold, they're big cities.
Right.
I don't know how big St. Louis is. I don't think St. Louis is that big a city, but Chicago, big city. LA, big city.
St. Louis is
Detroit, big
somewhat
city.
big.
Yeah, I'm not sure how big. And what was the fifth? Philadelphia. Big city. I'm shocked New York City's not on there, but but they're all big cities, which makes sense. I mean, Washington, Detroit.
Yeah.
But I think they're just symptoms of bigger problems.
I just think that it's also, again, if you have more people that have, if it's easier for people to carry guns, right? I think you're going to see less violence. As oxymoronic it might sound, I think that's the case, because think about it like this. I think you've been to a liquor store before, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody knows that a liquor store owner probably has a gun.
Sure.
How many liquor stores do we see get
very
robbed?
Few and far in between. Yes.
Because they know this joker probably got a shotgun on the other side, not just a regular gun.
Yeah, 3 feet of glass and a
shotgun
in the back. Yes.
That's the point, because ain't nobody trying to get killed over a robbery. Like, you have to be going through some crazy shit to not care if you die. But that's not most people. Because there was a case where I seen an 80-year-old man, and this was in, I think, Los Angeles. 80-year-old man, he had a gun. It was at a convenience store. He pulled out a gun. Some robbers came in. He pulled out the shotgun when they came in with a gun. 80-year-old man shot at him. Them jokers ran out. They ran out the door they came through like this.
They didn't want to deal with that.
Like this. If you so hard, you don't care. You would have came in there and said, "Let's see who wins this gunfight." Nah, they was out. Joker got it. Matter of fact, the other car left without homeboy. They was trying.
So the question then would become, if those cities, because Colin made the comment, these are very strict gun law cities. So if say it was very easy to get access to guns, do you think the theory is, if everybody had easy access to guns, the gun violence will automatically start?
Well, I don't think it should be easy access. I think you still have to pass a background check. I think that it shouldn't be so expensive. Well, give it to the right people. Yeah, give it to the right people, because you don't want to give it to people that have a criminal record or that are violent background. No, that's crazy. But the people that actually pass the background check, those are the people that should be able to get to carry the gun. So, but in the state of like New Jersey, and I'm telling you from experience, and my brother lives there, my family lives there. He's like, man, it's not cheap just to carry a gun here. I'm like, really? Like, that's cheap over here.
It's funny you say. I got a friend of mine, a contractor that I work with a lot. He carries on his hip, and I'm like, hey, you ever get worried, Cat? He's like, you know what? I feel the safest, because you can see it, like it's out.
Yeah, right.
He keeps it out on his hip.
Yeah, open carry. He got an open carry license.
He's like, know, feel the safest as possible because it's just it's out there. And I'm like, yeah, honestly, I think that probably happens. Yeah, that's probably true. All right, last thing. What's the last topic we got going?
So
Steve
Harvey.
We don't have a video for that, but just
that's right.
So basically, the rumor is out.
Yeah.
Of course, Steve is gonna, came out and said it's not true, but the rumor is, wifey been having fun with the personal bodyguard of Steve
and the private chef.
and the private chef.
And our producer said the damn pool boy. Like, really? God damn.
That would be next level.
Come on now, pool boy too.
Next level. And not to top things off, she would, if they would get divorced, she was asking for half of his $400 million. I wish the lead attorney was here so we can talk about this. This is one of his favorite topics to talk about. But let me tell you, my man Steve Harvey easily would not just seeing the kind of work that he puts out. He lives to work. Like, yeah, he's making all this money.
Yeah,
lives to work, and he talks about providing for his wife, everything she needs, this, that, the other. And I thought about, I said, man, what if I was doing all these things and my partner, my wife, cheats with my security guard? It'd be very hard for me not to get divorced.
Yeah.
And I would be damned if she's gonna try to get half.
Nah.
Like,
yeah.
especially if he hasn't done it, or the details of their marriage.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's done it in the past, because I think you got to. Hey, a spade is a spade. If you did it and then she does it, you can't come back and act like I never did anything. But if he never did anything and she goes and does it, and then there's no way I would spend all my money and be broke before I give up half. But I know people who have careers that require a lot of their time.
Yeah.
Travel, military personnel go through this a lot. You'll have people deployed for 6 months to a year, and it's very infamous that the military spouses will end up cheating just because of the distance and lack of content.
Yeah, but the problem is that Steve Harvey has been the guy to give so much advice.
Yes, which makes it 10 times worse.
Yeah. So now they're calling him the king of simps. Because if she really did that and you still stay there and you're like, you know what? Even though she did that, she's my wife, and you forgive that. And if this is true, you did it with the people that he hired. I couldn't do it. If my wife,
it's not a random encounter.
Forget wife. If my girlfriend, not wife, just my girlfriend, if she cheated on me with not just one, but two people that work for me, they're getting fired, and she's getting fired from the relationship.
She's getting fired too.
She's getting fired too.
You're fired.
She's out of here. Ain't no way, bro. Like, there's no way that I'm gonna sit here and let you just think that it's okay. You know what? People make mistakes. Really? Nah, it's not happening. I can do it.
No one is that close.
I can do it.
Nah, it's not. A random thing, maybe, like, okay, you never see the
I couldn't do a random thing either, but that one is even worse. Like, the random one, I couldn't take either. I just couldn't take it. My pride wouldn't let me. I would feel so.
I mean, if you got a 20-year marriage and kids together or whatever, and something happened, like, let me put it this way. If something like that happened, we all, as men, we know women are emotional creatures, men are physical. We can do things a lot easier than women can. If a woman does something like that, there's an emotional reason there where you're fucking up in the relationship.
Exactly.
And something, if it's a one-time occurrence, you find out, you really got to evaluate.
Which is why the Steve Harvey situation
is worse, because now you're talking about, is someone close?
Something you're doing wrong.
In-house. No, but
you said if it's a girl that does it, then the guy's fucking up. That's what you just said.
Yes.
And him giving relationship advice, it's contradicting.
He thought he was doing the right thing.
No, but you can't give advice and then think you're doing the right thing.
No. But he was giving advice, and then he finds this out. I don't know if he's put out any new content where he's giving advice, but I know he did a video where he was saying like, "Oh, we're good. But they said It's not true. That's not what happened.
He's trying to clean it
we'll,
up.
We'll see if we get a security guard that comes out or a chef that comes out.
How about this? If the security and the pool boy, pool boy, I don't even know
That's
that's
the
true.
extra. That's
but
the
if
extra.
if the
Sounds
private
like a porn
security,
video.
if the security and the private chef, if they no longer work for him,
Oh, my man.
why you fire them then? If nothing happened,
if,
why you
if,
fired them?
if it was never even a possibility, there would not be a rumor.
And then they shouldn't be fired because
They
if he
shouldn't be
came out. He
fired.
came out and said, "Not true. This is a rumor. This is a not true
Facts.
rumor."
Facts.
Then they better still have a job.
Facts.
And I'm sure somebody gonna find out whether or not they fired or not.
Facts.
And I don't want to hear they got fired because of the rumor.
All right, so
Nah.
the question we'll put out there: 20-year marriage, you got kids together, and we're gonna say, because we're men, we're gonna put the men's perspective. Your wife, go ahead, she makes the mistake, and it's a random occurrence. Who cares how, when, whatever? A random occurrence. She's not gonna see this person again. It's not possible. Whatever. Do you throw away the 20-year marriage and the kids and all this for a mistake that was made the one time, or do you reconsider? At 47, it's something that I would say if I'm 20 something years deep, kids, and it's something.
How you gonna ask me a question and then answer your own question first?
No, I'm just saying, like at 47, it's something.
How you gonna ask me a question and you answering? You gonna let me answer the goddamn question?
Yeah, you're right. Go ahead. Answer.
You ask me the question and then you answer your own question.
You're right, but this is the question that we're gonna put out to our subscribers too. That we want them to.
So since you asked me that,
Yes.
hell nah.
All right.
It's
there you
a
go.
wrap.
There you go.
It's curtains.
So you-
Now whether or not, okay, maybe I won't get a divorce. I'll separate. And
Okay,
say, you know what?
fair enough.
I need my time away from you because right now I feel very deceived. I don't want to see you. I'm moving out. I'm leaving, and then maybe a year later we'll return and see where we're at.
Okay.
But I couldn't stay in the house after that because I would look at her differently.
Sure.
Because when a woman sleeps with a guy, it's typically with a different intent. It's not just to
1,000%.
feel good.
1,000%. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, look, please, outside of liking and subscribing our page,
Yeah.
please comment. We want to know what you think. What's your opinion?
Yes. But real quick, before you actually exit it, that's a nice shirt.
Oh, hey,
That's a nice- who got you that?
$89.99.
Who got you that?
The new swag, my boy. I gotta give it up to the Kid Plot, super designer. He was very creative and made these shirts.
These are just a sample. Like, we're going to come out with better ones, but we just wanted to.
soon, we're gonna have the
Yeah.
swag on the site.
Yeah.
And but they coming soon.
The dope
But
shirt.
I thank you, man. There's something
I got him the V-neck. See, mine is all around there. He got the V-neck. He got the
so you
swag.
see a little bit of the
Got the
tan,
swag, you know what I mean?
But you guys don't understand. He's built like a bodybuilder. So he
Hey,
has
look
to-
who's talking.
He got it.
Bro,
Up.
this
He's
dude
ve-
is
He's a
huge.
modest guy. So.
Man, like and subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe to the channel, please. Hit-
Oh shit!
Oh.
Don't flex. You're gonna take up the whole screen. There you go. See?
Make sure you hit the
Hey.
notification bell, too. Don't forget
Yeah. Use your finger
to go that
to
way.
hit the button, the like and subscribe button. All right. We see y'all next week. Peace. Stop the madness. Hey man, you can't be flexing all the time like that.
What you-
man.